Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome back. If you're returning, and thank you for your support. Okay, so let's get straight into it. I did a poll on my Instagram stories. I did the same poll on my Twitter, asking what video you guys would like to see next. It was out of the week in my life vlog or a university tour. And so many of you voted, so thank you so much for just being interested. But the week in my life vlog won, so that's the video that you're gonna see today. And actually, by the time you guys see this, it would be about 3 or 4 days after me filming. So you're almost seeing this in real time. There's been so much going on. I've traveled from my family home back up to Surrey. I did an interview at Royal Holloway University for Royal Holloway for a new project or film series that they're producing, and you guys will get to see footage of that. I got some wonderful and exciting news which you all are gonna see, but the thing that I'm most excited for comes at the end of the week, which means you have to watch this video from beginning to the end. At the end of the week, I went to the Museum of London and visited the Sugar and Slavery Gallery. I also went to see a wonderful exhibition called Feeding Black, which was curated by a friend of mine, Alima Gray, who's also a doctoral researcher. So you definitely do not want to miss it. It's been an epic week.
Hi, I'm Renée Landell.
Come on. I wake up every morning thankful of what we make on and just to sleep. Blessings that the Lord has in store for me.
Hi guys, so you're probably wondering why I'm dressed like this. I'm about to head into a really important meeting. Unfortunately, I cannot say much more than that. The thing that I'm going to discuss with these wonderful people is in its early stages of development, and so I am cautious to not speak too prematurely. I'm going to head into this meeting. Hopefully it's just going to be no longer than an hour. Sometimes I'm in meetings, guys, and it's 5 hours. This one shouldn't take too long. So yeah, I'm gonna jump into this meeting real quick and we'll pick up the day from there.
So the meeting went extremely well, and now I'm just doing some work. I wanted to update my research questions and my methodology, and then attend to some of the concerns that I had with the recent chapter that I've been writing for my thesis. You should wake up and do your writing in the morning and the afternoon, and leave all of your researching, your data collection, your reading to the evening or later in the day. So do all of your reading at night and all of your writing in the morning and the afternoon. When you first wake up, your mind is fresh. That's when you are able to think more coherently and to get your writing more coherent, and leave all the reading, your note taking, data collection, your researching, whatever methods that you use, till later on in the day. One of the reasons why I love coming back to my family home is my room here, my bedroom, because it has my bookcase with all of my favorite books. At my apartment in Surrey, I do have a bookcase, and again, it's filled with books, filled with academic books, journals, encyclopedias, all of that stuff. But all of my fun reads, my reading for fun books, are all here. So yeah, I like to end the night by reading a book. So this doesn't stay on this shelf. I actually had to bring this one with me because this is the novel that I'm reading for my final chapter of my PhD. my final body chapter at least of my PhD. It is Cane Warriors by Alex Wheatle. That's what we're reading tonight. So yesterday you guys didn't get to see my morning routine, but after I've got myself together, prayed, read a scripture, I then like to go through my emails. I always get overwhelmed by my inbox because there's always emails to get through. Then I like to attend to my to-do list and check things off. Writing an 80,000 to 100,000 word thesis can be extremely difficult to manage through Microsoft Word documents. So I like to organize notes using a management system like Scrivener, which can easily be downloaded online. If, like me, you like to write in a non-linear fashion, Scrivener makes it easy to move chapters around and visualize your notes, as you can see at the left-hand side. You can keep and see all of your research and writing documents in one place. So many different things that I do and that I'm interested in. I do music, I'm a singer, songwriter, play the guitar, so many different things that I do. One thing that many people don't know about me is that I'm also a fine artist. Yeah, I thought of a really great idea, or initiative rather, to kind of combine doing my research but also my love for art. And so, as you already know, I decided to use 4 anti-black caricatures. They're images which can be described, they're descriptions, negative and stereotypical descriptions of black people, which can be visually imagined. And so I thought, why not digitally paint my interpretation of these 4 caricatures? I have an idea in my head what I'm going to use them for, and I'm so excited for you guys to see it. But yeah, I just thought I would show you guys. So I start by putting pencil to paper and drawing an outline, or just getting a simple idea of what I want these images to look like. Then I scan and digitally draw them, and then I paint. This is my interpretation of Mammy. This is how I imagine the Mandingo. And there are, several depictions that have been made through films and artwork. And so here is my interpretation of the Jezebel stereotype. So after I spent several hours digitally painting, I thought it was good to go outside and get some air. Good morning. After breakfast, again, I'm starting the day with some work. Hey, Reese. Okay guys, so my brother's just left maybe about 20-30 minutes ago, and my twin sister, not just my sister, I have some really exciting news. So this is a wonderful tip for researchers. Never be afraid to reach out to major scholars or poets or scientists or people that you greatly admire who are world renowned or even famous. Never be afraid to send that email. If there is an email that you're sitting on because you're afraid and you're thinking, who am I? You feel like an imposter, press send on that email. And if you haven't wrote that email yet, write it and then press send. It's the best way to get the most amazing opportunities, and that's what this channel is all about. I'm using Guyanese poet David Dabby Dean, his collection Slave Song, and I sent him an email. I introduced myself, I said how much I love his work, and then I asked him, I said, is there a time where we can meet in person and I can interview you? He wrote back and said, yes, of course. We're still trying to plan and arrange a date that works. Obviously, we're in a time of COVID, so it's a little bit tricky. So yeah, whilst that's being arranged, about 2 days later, I got an email from an editor to say, hi Renee, I got word that you're writing about David Dabby Dean, about his life, about his first poetry collection, etc. How would you like to write a chapter for an edited book collection of essays that I'm hoping to publish in the next year or so? And I said, what? Amazing. So opportunities come out of opportunities, guys. Major opportunities can come out of opportunities, but it starts by you being a forward thinker, sending that email, reaching out to that person, trying to get contacts, you know? My writing is going to be an actual book that you can buy. But whilst we're on the topic of books and opportunities, the book that I had yesterday, Cane Warriors, the author Alex Wheaton. I posted his book on Twitter to say that I was using the book and how so far it's been everything that I've needed for the chapter that I'm writing. And he actually reached out to me. Let me tell you a little bit about him. So not only is he an amazing young adult writer and children's book author, but his life was also told in the amazing BBC series by Steve McQueen called Small Axe. In fact, a whole episode is dedicated to his life. There is an episode called Alex Wheaton, and it tells his story moving to Brixton, London, Brixton, where the Caribbean community is, you know, thriving. So much was going on, so much. The New Cross fires, the race riots, and he was in the midst and center of it all. He became really involved in protests. He actually got arrested in the middle of a riot and spent time in prison. I don't want to tell too much of his story. You can watch his full story and learn more about him by heading over to BBC iPlayer. Anyways, Alex Wheaton reached out to me, asked about my PhD, asked about the chapter and what I'm going to write and so forth. He asked me if I would like a proof copy of his latest book, which it's not out yet. In fact, it's coming out in about a year's time. And I'd love for you to write a review or speak on it and whatever else. Because I see on your Twitter, I sent him my address, and his book, which is coming out in 2022, arrived. He even wrote a personalized message in the book, which was really, really sweet, and it was phenomenal.
I also don't have a lot of experience doing, but I think it'd be a really cool thing to test in this case is when we do the interview.
Yeah.
To stick the camera right in your face and have you answer directly into the camera.
Okay.
Rather than like talk to me off camera.
Yeah.
I really like the way that looks, and it makes in my opinion, makes the viewing experience a lot more personal. It makes it feel like you're talking directly to someone.
Yeah, I like that.
So I think it might really work. I think
I'm up early because I've got a really exciting day ahead. I'm packing to go back to Surrey for a really exciting interview. I have travelled from Birmingham to Reading. I'm now at Reading station, and I'm going from Reading to Egham. When I get there, when I reach my apartment, I literally have about 5 minutes to drop off my luggage and my bags. and head straight up to university. I'm on a very, very tight schedule. I arrive maybe 10 to 2, and then I've got to meet somebody at university for 2 to start this filming project. I'll probably tell you more about the filming project when I'm there and everything is set up and we're ready to go, and I'm with the team, so you'll probably find out more about it then. I'll probably explain it then, but yeah, see you guys in Egham. Okay guys, so I'm back. It's 2 o'clock. My watch is saying 2 o'clock, which means that I'm late. But I've just put my luggage down and I'm gonna run to uni now. Okay guys, I've just arrived at Royal Holloway. Look how beautiful she is. In my next video, I'm gonna do a tour. You'll see a tour of Royal Holloway. I'll show you Founders Building and all the other buildings. But today, we are here to do a filming project. So let's go. So I'm a little late, but I made it. This is Bill.
Hello.
Hey Bill.
So
good, thank you. How are you?
yeah, I'm good. Looking
So-
forward to today's filming.
Yeah, do you want to explain what we're doing?
Renee, you were going to tell us your fascinating life story in a journey through education. In the hopes of inspiring others.
Yep, so you've heard it there yourself, and we're just setting up. So I was asked to take part in a film series that the university is piloting for schools, particularly those in deprived areas with lower rates of progression to universities. The film is essentially an interview of me highlighting my experience of university, the things that I've achieved, my academic journey, to help inspire students to come to university. I wanted to share not only my story and my experience of studying at uni, but also the things that I've gone on to do alongside my research. I run an organisation called Beyond Margins UK, and I've worked with Royal Holloway along with several other universities to help restructure and reform policies to increase racial equity, diversity and inclusion. So I've worked with various services at Royal Holloway, from the Careers Service, Mental Health Service, the library, several departments, and some faculty leaders who spearhead initiatives on race equity. PhD student in the School of Humanities at Royal Holloway University. I've had the privilege of engaging with local schools as well as organisations and charities. I work with an exceptional team, and together we have won several awards. But I think the most rewarding thing about doing this work is seeing changes being implemented and hearing the stories of those who it has benefited. So I woke up at 7 a.m, had to get a train, 3-hour train ride from the Midlands up to the south. And then after that, I went straight to uni to do 5 hours of filming. When I got home, I jumped into midweek church service, which was really cool. After that, I did an hour's worth of thesis writing and emails. So it's been a very long and extensive day, and the only thing that I would want to do after that is not cook as much as I enjoy it. This is how we celebrate and enjoy a long day. Pizza, people, and Netflix. Today we're back at uni, and I'm taking you to the PhD offices, my office. It's located at the bottom of the International Building, and you need your student card to get in, and again, it's only accessible to postgraduate students. Many of the booths are assigned to individual PhD students. Today, as you can see, it's completely empty and also cleared out, perhaps because of COVID or because it's the summer break. So I'll probably be here from morning to night. So when spending the entire day writing or conducting research, I like to follow the Pomodoro technique. You set a timer for 25 to 30 minutes and get working. When the buzzer sounds, take a 5-minute break and repeat. So doing the revisions of this current chapter has been stressing me out. My arguments are very, very complex, and I don't even know why I gave myself such a difficult task, but at the end of the day, I went away feeling very, very proud and satisfied with what I have done. I spent a good 9 hours, if not more, working, and so it is indeed the evening and it's time to go home. I have such an exciting and yet critically important day ahead of me. I'm en route to the Museum of London Docklands to visit the London Sugar and Slavery Gallery, which was built in 2007. And now the museum building is actually central to my own research. It was built at the time of the transatlantic slave trade and was an old sugar warehouse on London's West India Dock. The sugar which was stored here was imported from the West Indian plantations where enslaved African men, women and children worked. It was once the 4th largest slaving port in the world. The London Sugar and Slavery Gallery has over 140 objects and personal accounts through film, music, and interactive exhibits. Objects such as a rich range of tableware symbolise the wealth created by sugar, which led to the economic growth acquired by the white planter class. The gallery tells a story from life and trade on the West India Dock, the conditions for the enslaved on the Middle Passage and the Caribbean plantations, and even houses archival records of enslaved people with their rebranded names. The further that you go into the gallery, it focuses more on the legacies of the slave trade for British society today. As I mentioned prior, there's a specific exhibition that I've come to see in the London Sugar and Slavery Gallery. This exhibition is called Feeding Black, and it was curated by a good friend of mine, Alima Gray, who's a PhD candidate at Warwick University. I spoke to Alima, and in her own words, you'll get to hear an insight into the curation of this exhibition.
The exhibition itself emerged out of a non-traditional research project. The exhibition essentially spotlights 4 Black-owned businesses, Black-owned food businesses, and food provides this very important segue to think about contemporary Black experiences, legacies around food and African Caribbean cultures. The object that has been collected was put forward by the business owners themselves, which is quite a radical intervention to be put in the Dutch part, to be put in, Junior's Line of Judah flag. I wanted to show how people continue to survive and thrive in the city, whether it's on the market, providing jobs for people, whether it's, connecting people to their roots and discussing politics, etc.
There is not just a visual story that's being told, it's audio. It's very audible, and you hear the sounds of interviews, you hear the sounds of people describing what, you know, the food that they sell, their stalls mean to them. And I'm kind of getting a sense of the relationship. It's a small part of which takes prominence in my own research, looking at food, power, pleasure, belonging. You know, it reminds me of my childhood, growing up and going to visit my grandmother and my grandfather in London, going to Tooting and Mitcham and going to the Caribbean food stalls and the food market, getting 1-2 plantain, and it was a place of engagement. It was a place of community, of social reckoning, and a place where you felt like you belonged. Belonging was like the core, and still is the core aspect of Caribbean food and marketplaces. And I really think that if you do get an opportunity to visit the Museum of London Docklands, come up to the Sugar and Slavery Gallery and see this wonderful exhibition called Feeling Black. So I got the regular, bought a chicken, chips, rice, and a refillable drink. And we're here in Nando's. While studying, I live away from my local church, and before I get an opportunity to watch the service back online, I do some praise and worship at my apartment.
You held me steady so I wouldn't give up. You opened doors that nobody can shut. I hope I never get over what you've done. I wanna live with an open heart. I wanna live like I know who you are. I hope I never get over what you've done. Yeah. It's not coincidence and it's not luck. I know it comes from above. I've got miracles on miracles, a million little miracles. Ooh, I've got miracles on miracles. Count your miracles, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even count them all.
Thank God for help. Everything may not be well, but I have good friends. I'm a roof over my head. Unconditional. That's how God love me. I was there, no evil was guiding me. I know that I'm blessed. Yes. I know that I'm blessed everywhere I go. In everything I do, I'm blessed. When I feel you are being Lord. My life is a miracle. God favored my life. Walking in purpose, should have died, but I am still alive. I don't deserve it, but I receive it. I'm lucky, I'm blessed. No worrying, no more stress. My life is a miracle. God favoring my life. Walking in purpose, should have died, but I am still alive. I don't deserve it, but I receive it. Not lucky, I'm blessed. No worrying, no more stress.